My name is Briana Anderson, and I'm a pleasure coach for women. So the point of this video is to give you a better idea of who I am and what I do so that you can go inside of yourself and see if there is a calling or a curiosity, if this is right for you or your studio, your community, or you and your group of girlfriends. So what do I teach? I teach women to embody their feminine magnetism. How to approve of themselves, how to deeply and passionately fall in love with themselves. I teach uninhibited self-expression, basically to be your truest self without guilt, without censorship, without effort. And this kind of work shows women how to turn their light up rather than dim it down. And what the result is personal empowerment, aliveness, expansive freedom, unbound joy in women, and the release of anxiety and stress and worry and judgment about themselves and others. So women who engage in this work find that their desires come to them, not because of what they can do, but because of who they are. And the magnetic quality with which their energy is vibrating at. It's so yummy, it's so beautiful, it's so good. And there's so much more that I could share about, but in service to keeping this video brief, I'll just let you can read a whole lot more on my website, which I'll share right here. So why pleasure? Why a pleasure coach? And I'll tell you why, especially because the word pleasure can be a trigger word for people because of the automatic association with sex. But the pleasure I teach is all-encompassing, and it explores the utter bliss that we experience on all levels, on the mental level, the emotional level, the spiritual level, as well as the physical and the sexual. Those are involved as well. So now I have found that women have an internal compass guiding them towards their truest self. Now that doesn't mean that we're all actually following that compass, and sometimes we're afraid to, or sometimes we just plainly don't know how. So what I teach is that the feeling of pleasure is such a special experience because it automatically lets us know when we are on the right track. And inversely, when we get the clear message that we are not in our pleasure, that gives us the divine information to course correct and to choose a different way. So I believe that every woman is gifted with her own unique set of desires for a reason. And it's because the fulfillment of these desires brings her into alignment with her true self and her true purpose on this planet. And so many women are so curious about what their true purpose is. And pleasure is the compass, and that when we follow it, it leads us to our desires. And even so much, it puts us on the path so our desires come to us, which is really, really a lot of fun. So what does a class consist of? Every class is very hands-on, very experiential, and it's geared towards giving everyone some powerful tools to easily integrate into their lives so that they can enjoy immediate results and positive changes. And I teach a number of very simple yet profound pleasure principles and practices, and we run with them. So we do large and small group sharing because it's very important for women to feel expressed and heard. We do some energy extraction techniques because it's often good to rid ourselves of all of the gunk that we placed on top of our pleasure sensors and stuffed it down and gotten numb from. And so we get that stuff out, and we honor the fact that we are women and can feel deeply. And we engage in the feminine embodiment, through movement and through sensuality, and just basically we have a lot of fun too. So why is this great for your studio or your community? So this work supports women in showing up for themselves in an entirely new way, in a way that is so different than we were previously taught. So all of a sudden, women start taking time for themselves and honoring their self-care and their self-nurturing. It becomes a priority, which I have found means that they are way more motivated to come to class, to rave about their experience to their friends and share the power of what they are doing with others. So your community becomes more connected and engaged, and then it grows. And also why this is great for just you and a group of friends is that, pure and simple, being surrounded by inspired, motivated, fired up women is uplifting. Women who are in this space do not have time to complain and backstab and spend time being negative. There is only encouragement and a greater level of support and authentic sharing among friends that further just encourages the emergence of our true selves. And this completely releases the exhausting role of pretending to be what we think everyone else wants us to be. So basically, you and your ladies get to play in your divine power and have your way with the world. Because at the soul level, connection and intimacy are so important to the feminine spirit. And women sharing their pleasure thrive in communities, and therefore, of course, the community thrives as well. So it is my intention to ignite the women of the world into their unstoppable and sensational power and just bliss that's available to them. Because I know that when a woman is completely filled up and in love with herself, every single person, animal, being around her benefits from the magic that she exudes. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I would love to meet you, and I would love to put on a class for you and your fabulous females. It is truly, truly a life-changing experience. So if you have even the slightest nudge or curiosity towards this opportunity, I invite you to honor that and just give me a call or send me an email. I'd love to answer any of your questions and make it really simple to get this going. So thank you again. Have a gorgeous and pleasurable rest of your day.